Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. We got a really cool one today. So this is the Vista, or in my case, the Vista 3. The 3 just denotes a slight increase in stats from the base model. Aesthetically, the ship is the exact same. It's just as for this one, you notice the reactor is 38 power, whereas a Vista 1, the reactor may only be 30. So aside from that, it's going to be the exact same ships aesthetically. But yeah, looking at the design, it seems to be a mix of Nova Galactic with that big Deimos bridge. Very cool looking ship. Very unique. It kind of like... It almost looks like Nova Galactic or like attempted making a warship. But yeah, so looking at the stats, we've got 800 fuel, which is very, very good fuel. We've got a hull of almost 1340, 1336, which is LEET. No, LEET is 1337. I'm an idiot. And then cargo capacity of almost 3300, which is really, really nice. Insane, almost. And I say insane. Obviously, there's like ships out there. You can make cargo haulers that can carry tens of thousands. But for like a base ship, especially a ship like this with weapons, it's quite decent. So yeah, so it's got, like I said about the reactor, 38 reactor C-class, crew of 6, which is really nice. Jump range of 30 light years, which combined with the fuel and just the like complement of what this thing is carrying, that's really impressive. This thing can go anywhere and do anything. 1350 shield, which is astronomical. The highest shield in the game is 1600, so like the fact that you're only 250 off is crazy. This thing is built to tank with the shield and hull. It's got 3 sets of weapons. It's got laser weapons, which they're both turreted there. It's got ballistic weapons there, which look to be auto cannons, and then it's got an EM weapon on the side there if you want to passively take down people. But yeah, the price for me is almost 400k. Now that's the 3 class. You'll probably get it a lot cheaper if you get the base version. If you're like a lower level, it'll probably cost like maybe 250. So I purchased this from this vendor here, Mr. Man in New Atlantis. If you come here and the ship isn't there, the trick I do to reset the inventory is to fly to Mercury in the Sol system and land on the planet, hop in a chair in your ship, wait a day, and then come back, and that'll refresh the inventory, and just keep doing that until you get it. But anyway, this is the ship, very long. Oh, I'm gonna get lost in this ship. I already know I'm gonna get lost in this ship. Like, so many recordings I've like was recorded and I've done like almost all recording, and then I realize I missed something, so I have to go back and do it again. But yeah, really, like, it's a cool profile. I said this on some other ships. I wish it was all the one color. The Deimos bridge is kind of a bit of an outlier in its color scheme. I think it would be better if it wasn't that color, if it was like white like the rest of it. But anyway, yeah, let's go check it out, shall we? Sorry about that, bit of a jump cut. One of the dogs tried to headbutt his way into the door, or her way, so yeah. Anyway, let's go check out the interior. It's a very big ship. Where's the entryway? Oh, entryway at the back. Can already tell this is a Shroud Eklund. Yeah, we got the Shroud Eklund landing gear and entryway. In we go. I love Shroud Eklund entryway, very cool. Into the Vista we go. Make sure not to get lost in the ship like a conqueror. So immediately we have a 1x1 storage room. The ladder going up in a single door. Thank you, Andrea. So this leads to a science lab, 2x1 science lab. Pretty nice to have. And then that looks like an infirmary. Behind it we have a 2x1 infirmary. Okay, I like that they are both on the same level. It kind of makes sense. And then we have a little storage room here with a window. So if your patients want to look out the window and just kind of look into the void of space and realize they're trapped on a metal tube in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, probably better off not looking out the window. Alright, on to the next level. Andrea, get out of the way, please. So up here we have an armory, which is really nice to see. I love these armories with the storage. Just be careful when you store stuff on these. If you modify the ship at all, they will get deleted. I've heard reports that they go into the ship's cargo hold, but other people say that that's not the case. So just be careful when using this. save beforehand. So then we have past here, we have another door. This leads to, ooh, okay, this is it seems to be a mess hall, like a 3x3 mess hall. Really cool, really like this. We've got cooking station here, some fridges, some more cold storage. We got some chairs here for the crew, and then we have a more kind of closed off area where the officers would eat. Got some nice views there, nice windows. We have a door here. We will go up there in a minute. We'll just check the rest of this level. So there's no door there, is there? No. And then through here past the mess hall we have a, I think this is a 2x2 all-in-one berth. Really like these like larger vessel, or the larger modules. These all-in-one berths. I'll check that door in a minute. You got a window here looking out to the right. A lot of kind of space. You got some beds for the crew to sleep. A workstation there. Some storage. We've got a toilet there because a lot of people are complaining that there's no toilets. This ship has a toilet. And we've got a door here. This leads to captain's quarters. Yeah, this is a Nova Galactic captain's quarters, or it might be a Hope Tech. We'll check at the end. I'll do a teardown. Yeah, I really like these captain's quarters. They're very lived in. I love this little kind of cozy. I love space. Ooh, nice. I like these red corner couches. Right, let's continue on our journey back the way we came. So we want to take the ladder up, if I can remember where that ladder was. Ah, yes, so ladder up to the 3rd floor. And we are greeted by a 1x1 storage room with a nice window overlooking the port side. And then through here we have an engineering room, 3x1. No doors here. I like this style of engine room because it's got like equal parts of like engine stuff, but also like terminals. Like the Hope Tech is just very little terminals, all like mechanical stuff. So I feel like it'd be hard to diagnose the problem. And then we have the pièce de résistance, the bridge. This bridge is, I want to say, the coolest bridge you can get. It's got this navigation console, so you can feel like, you know, like you're an admiral. You're like, yes, send the fleet in now, deploy the fighters, you know, very cool. And then we've got this kind of twin setup, so you've got a pilot seat here and you've got a co-pilot there. The only real thing, the only negative I would say is you've got these jump seats here and you've got extra jump seats here with some nice views. But I kind of wish there was more terminals for like the crew to like, you know, fiddle with, just for aesthetic purposes. But yeah, I believe that is everything. Yeah, so let's take her for a rip. I'm expecting, this is an expensive ship and I'm expecting it to be very slow. But looking at its weapon stats, it should be decent. Look at it. It's a pretty interesting shape. A little nitpicky, but I'm not really fond of those like Nova Galactic engine brace or engine boosters. So you can see them there, the ones that stick out and point forward. I feel like if you took them off the ship, it'd probably look a little bit better, but that's just me. Anyway, let's take off. Also, it would help having it all one color. Okay, so we've got a lot of power to play around with, which I like. It's so big we can't even see the whole ship. Goddamn. Okay. So what has it got? It's got 2 sets of large engines there. Not expecting an awful lot of thrust, but we shall see. So like always, I have a perk that increases my engine power by 5. I'm going to show you it real quick. So I would recommend getting it just because it helps heaps with when you're doing combat and stuff. So yeah, so we're not going to take into account 5. So we pump the shield to max, and then we can almost pump these to max. So with the current like EM setup, you can pretty much have all points in the laser ballistics and everything, and then the EM is kind of, it's something you don't really use in combat unless you want to disable the ship, so it's not really a huge issue. So the laser weapons are turreted, ballistics are also turreted, so the only weapon you have is the EM. Okay, which is interesting. I like the dual turreted weapons. It basically means you can fly and not have to worry about combat. You let the turrets do the work. I'd probably recommend, if you wanted to kind of make this your daily driver, I'd probably remove the EM, unless you like boarding ships, and replace it with like something like maybe a single missile pod, just so you have some weapons at your disposal while your turrets do all the work. Anyway, let's do a quick speed test. So its base speed is looking like about 130. Yeah, is she slow? Very slow. Boost speed of... oh, very slow. Boost speed of like 390 almost. Oh my, okay, so we're gonna do a quick pitch test. I can already tell it's gonna be slow. Yeah, this is a behemoth. Very, very slow. I see now why we're gonna do it. I see now why you have turrets, because if you're trying to chase down a more agile ship, you're not going to be able to keep it in your peripherals. You can use the thrusters, obviously, but... and then we're gonna do a quick roll. So yeah, that's the ship itself. I'm gonna really quickly do a teardown just to show you the pieces. Alright, so here we are at the vendor.
Hey,
like I said, this is where I found it. If you're gonna look for it, come here, check it out. If it's not here, just fast travel to land on Mercury and then wait in for 1 day in your ship and then come back, and then that should refresh it. So straight away, what's their warning? Yeah, below mass, she a bit heavy. So straight away, we've got the Deimos DS 30.2 Ares Bridge. And then on the top here, we have an all-in-one Nova Galactic berth 2x2. We've got the Nova Galactic Captain's Quarters 2x1. We've got the Nova Galactic... the Nova Galactic Infirmary. We've got the 3x2 mess hall. We have a engineering bay, 3x2. We have a Nova Galactic armory. We have the Nova Galactic Science Lab. A Nova Galactic storeroom. Then we have the Nova Galactic, we've got a Shroud Eklund Connect Pro Docker. Got the companionway there. I believe we have another, I'll do another, I'm just really quickly checking it apart and then I'll double check everything. So that appears to be everything. So yeah, so like I said, we got the Deimos DS30 Ares Bridge. We've got the Nova Galactic all-in-one berth 2x2, the Nova Galactic Captain's Quarters, the Nova Galactic Mess Hall 2x3, the Infirmary 2x1, the 3x1 Engineering Bay, the Armory 2x1, the Science Lab 2x1, Storeroom 1x1, Companionway 1x1, and another Storeroom 1x1. And then we have the Shroud Eklund Pro Docker Top Connect. And then looking at the weaponry, we have a pair of these Reza 300 PHC SX pulse laser turrets from Shinigami. C-Class got a range of 1000, damage to shield is 38, and it's got 4 power, which is pretty high power draw for it. So yeah, we got a pair of them there. And then we got a pair of these Marauder 115N railgun turrets. Class C, 800 range. Again, I said this in a previous video. Railguns should not have, like, I mean, balancing reasons, obviously, but railguns have an infinite range, because when you shoot a railgun, it will keep firing until it hits something. So I feel like railguns should have the highest range in the game of all the stats. Yeah, it's got 81 hull damage. It's pretty decent, pretty good hull damage. Max power of 4, so pretty expensive hull-wise, or power-wise. And then we have this single Tatsu 500 EM suppressor from Shinigami. C-Class, 6 max power, 87 electronic damage, 800 range. I'd probably swap this out for, like I said, if you're going to use this as a combat vessel and you like the idea of turrets, which I love turrets, makes my job easier, I can focus on flying, I'd probably add like either a single, like a singular particle, high-end, like or high-damage particle weapon, or a missile pod, just so you have like a weapon you can use. So looking at the... we've got a 104D Guardian Shield Generator by Dogstar, C-Class, 12 max power, 1350. Really, really good shield. This is the second strongest shield in the game. The strongest is 1600, so very, very good shield. And then we have two of these 700T helium tanks from Ballistic Solutions. Each give 400 fuel, so more than enough fuel to make the necessary jumps. So landing gear, we have a pair of these 220 CB landing thruster or landing gear from Deimos, which are just kind of, they're more for aesthetics. The main landing gear is all these bad boys. So we've got, how many of these? We got 1, 2, 3, I think, yeah. So you got 6 of these AccuLander 11 landing gear from Shroud Eklund. And then we have the reactor here, a Fuser DC403 reactor from Deep Core, 38 power, really, really good. We've got some more little cargo storage here. We've got Galleon, little I say, this is 1480. Galleon S204 cargo hold. We've got 2 of these bad boys. And then we've got another Taio landing gear. So we've got 3 sets of Taio landing gear. These are just Nova Galactic braking engines. They're kind of, they're just aesthetics, but you know, they get the job done. And then we have our SGD-3300 Grav Drive Sladen Aerospace 45 grav jump thrust, which is more than the max. Obviously, the max you can get is 30. So this is obviously put in the game for if you want to make big ships like this and you don't want to sacrifice jump range. And then we've got 2 of these Amundon C-Class engines, Amundon X200s. They provide 21,240 engine thrust and 7,200 maneuvering thrust. So, as you can see, mobility-wise, pretty poopy. 37 mobility. This is not obviously going to be a ship that can dance around. It's going to be quite slow. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the stability docking bay. There's the docking bay as well. So yeah, so all in all, very interesting ship. Very cool ship. Weapon-wise, like, really cool. It's clearly, like, meant to be, like, an all-arounder, but, like, with a heavy focus on combat and survivability. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other reviews. I have more reviews along the way, alongside other Starfield-related content. But yeah, have a good one.